Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, there we go. There we are. Welcome to Gold Digger Diaries. I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I hope you're ready for a great Gold Digger Diaries live because we're bringing it tonight. We got a very, very special guest in the house. I'm so excited. And just a little bit about Gold Digger Diaries before we get into speaking with our special guest. Gold Digger Diaries Live is a celebration of ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things. And this guest is definitely killing the game. So thank you for giving us some of your time. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to someone who has I think I've known Delphine over for, oh gosh, Delphine, I don't want to date us, but I think I've known you almost 20 years.
It,
Yeah,
at least.
almost 20 years. And I've come to know her as a dear friend, a sister, a really, really huge supporter, always supporting me. And I so appreciate it. So now it's time for me to give back. She has written a book, which we're going to talk about later. I'm so excited about. But outside of writing a book, she is a phenomenal woman. It would take me all night to talk about this woman and her achievements and what she's done. And she's definitely a role model for me because she kills the game every time. So, without further ado, I'm introducing my friend, Delphine Lomax Taylor. Thank you, Delphine.
Thank you so much. I am so honored to be here on your show. And I absolutely love the whole slogan or the name of the show, Gold Diggers, because it's nothing like having goals, GOAL.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So we got to catch up. We haven't spoken in a while, but you're looking good. You're glowing.
Thank you.
Got to look. You're looking wonderful. So that you look happy. So I see that you're happy. I'm glad you're happy. But let's talk about Delphine Taylor. Who is she? Give our viewers a little bit about your background. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, as Felicia mentioned, I am Delphine Lomax Taylor. And who am I? Actually, I'm originally from Akron, Ohio, born and raised, moved to the Atlanta area in 1985 when the youngest was 5 months old, the oldest was 3 years old. How about now they're 35 and 38? So
Wow.
Delphine Lomax Taylor is a mom. She is a wife. I am an auntie. I am a grandmother. I have
Wow.
two sisters. I have a business partner. Um, and we'll probably get in that a little bit later. I serve on, numerous boards or boards over the course of me being here in the Atlanta area. But yeah, grew up in Akron, Ohio. Been in the Atlanta area since 1985, and
Wow.
that's me in a nutshell.
So you're based, no, that ain't you, but okay,
Okay,
I'll let you have it for a minute.
okay.
But so you are an Atlantan. You've been here for a long time.
You know what? You're right. I've been in Atlanta longer than I had been in Akron because, like I said, well, I wasn't telling my age or anything, but you're right. I guess I am an Atlantan,
Yep, yep,
suburb of Atlanta.
yep, yep, absolutely. Now you mentioned that you're an entrepreneur, which I know you are, and you are a phenomenal entrepreneur. You've been in the game for 30 years. And you
Yeah,
have done it very well, successfully. So
thank
tell us a little bit about what prompted you to start your business and how you've managed to run it so successfully over the
So,
years.
you know what? I'll tell you, 30 years, and you're right. We look back and in November 2021, will actually be 30 years. My business partner is Digger Virgil, and every year we've been saying nearly 30, nearly 30. Well, 1991, and we're going into 2021. That is 30 years. And
Wow.
I'll tell you, both of us worked in corporate America. Um, And then we went to a hospital system and we worked in the marketing research department of this particular hospital system. My business partner, Didra, went she went away, had a baby, came back. While she was gone, I'm still working, I'm still churning for somebody else. But when she got back, it just seemed different. It was almost like you've heard the phrase, glass ceiling, or I can't move up anymore. And she just looked at me frankly one day and was like, would you ever consider starting a business? I was chicken little. No, I am used to 9 to 5, and I'm used to getting a paycheck every 2 weeks on the 15th and the 30th. But long story short, we leaped out on faith. We actually, another person that used to work in the department left. She was hiring us to do different projects for her. So before we even left our company, we had already set up shop on Memorial Drive, had an office, had a secretary, and was working on getting clients. And so the move, they found out that we were moonlighting, and they wanted us to make a choice. And I'm thinking, make a choice. We give our all in all 9 to 5, but after 5, we were doing our own thing. But you want me to do a choice? And our choice was, okay, bye. We started our business and haven't looked back. Hasn't always been easy, but we've not looked back.
Wow. So how did you ladies, because I know over the last 30 years, there definitely have been some challenges.
Most
How
definitely.
did you handle, and I know it being in business myself, how did you manage those times when the invoices weren't getting paid, or, rent was due, or those financial challenges that we don't want to talk about?
So I don't know if I ever mentioned this. One thing that I'll have to tell you, I'm going to pay my bills. But then you say, but if I don't have enough money to pay my bills, well, what do? I'm going to I'm a queen of negotiating. I became the queen of setting up um, bill payment arrangements. Because one thing that I did not do, I'd never ignored a bill. That's one thing that you don't want to do. Pick up the phone and just make a phone call and say, listen, invoices are a little slow. Can I pay you? I can pay you half, or can I pay you half this? Oh, I've been there, done that. Can I pay you half, and then can I do the rest here? And if that rest didn't come, you gotta communicate with your bill collectors, so to speak. So one thing I'll just say, I became a negotiator of bills, and then as times grew on, you just, you know, thank God I'm not in that position anymore. But yeah, but through this COVID, many people are finding themselves. And so, what I would say to that is, again, hopefully people will work with you, but you just gotta, you can't ignore the phone call.
Right, right. You cannot ignore. Call Delphine.
Oh, I can show you how to do it.
That is awesome. My hats are off to you, because it's hard. It's hard to be an entrepreneur when that is your income and you don't have that income coming in all the time or consistently. So that is a great, great, great tip. So what drives you to keep working as hard? Because you haven't retired.
I have not retired. I'm really only a few years away where I could retire, but I'm feeling good. I love what I do. So, I'm an outgoing person. I love speaking and talking to people. And that's a lot of what I do. I do a lot of client relations because we're always talking to clients and, writing proposals and responding to requests for proposals or requests for information. So I'm a people person and I love what I do. And so, and another thing, and I don't change. So if you see the way you see me right now, that's how I am with clients. That's how I am with clients. Many of my clients have we become friends. We've gone on trips together. So one of the things I would say, I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do.
So tell us, a wise one, what is it that you do?
So I'm one of the principal owners of V&L Research and Consulting. And V&L Research and Consulting, we're a full service market research company. Our slogan is the right information for smart decisions. So what does that mean? We do both qualitative research like focus groups, individual IDIs. We do quantitative studies, mainly a lot of online. And because of COVID-19, we do a lot of Zoom or platform, focus groups, not in person or live anymore. So there's various platforms that you can use, such as this, to, do focus groups. So we do that, and we're full service, meaning some of our clients want us to do everything. Sit down with them, go over methodologies, tell them what we want to do, field the research, write the report, and present to their clients or their clients' clients. A lot of times, sometimes we're working on a project and my client has a client who has a client who has a client. But that's okay.
Mm,
Money is green, and we'll do that too. But we own a
exactly.
market research firm. And then from that, I have I meet so many people in so many industries. I started a company, the Lomax Group, your outsourced connection. I love putting people together. I love, but I'm, and you know this of me, and you're helping me. I just got to learn how to reap the benefits of putting people together as they make these multi millions of dollars. I'm like, okay, where's my piece? Where's my cut? But I do love helping people.
And you do it very well. You put people together very well. You are the connoisseur of networking.
and
You
and I
taught me
like the
well.
term networking. You and I have worked together on many things. I like that networking because you got to get to know people. It's a good idea to network, but the bottom line is our net worth. So I really like that coin, networking. Networking. You want to
Mhm.
network. You want to get to know people, and but you want to. The bottom line is we really do want to increase our financial bottom.
Yes, your network is your net worth.
Yes.
It is. So, Delphine, I'm going to stop for a second because guess who's in the house? Our fellow jugglets, Jackie, Latrell, and who else we got here? Kayla's here.
All right.
Yeah, we got the ladies in the house tonight. Thank you, young ladies, for
Wonderful.
joining us. So, so just one piece of wisdom, if you could share with a bit people, someone who's wanting to start their own business now, what is one piece of wisdom that you would give them?
Let's see. One, I had more than one wisdom. Let's see.
Okay,
What?
two.
Okay. Well, one piece of wisdom, you got to have a plan. You
Mm,
got to have a plan. And I don't know if you've ever heard this. You got to have a plan your work, and work your plan.
yes, yes, yes. That
You have to plan. You have to have some kind of strategy, some kind of goals. What are you doing? What are you striving for? How do you measure those goals? But plan your work and work your plan.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. So let's get into the goody of your philanthropic endeavors, your community work, because ever since I've known you, you have sat on somebody's board, or you say, "Oh yeah, I got a board meeting. I'm president of this. I'm doing this." You have worked so tirelessly in the community, and I believe you still do. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing, what you have done as far as your community work.
So, I'll tell you how it started. It started with children. It's so interesting. It started with, I have two sons. Again, they're 35 and 38, but I remember them, my mom saying, "You've got to get them active in something." So they were 7 and 10. When they were 7 and 10, and when my mom said, "You got to get them involved in something," I signed them up for basketball at the South DeKalb YMCA. So when your children are active in sports, a lot of times the team needs help. So what
Mm,
did I become? A team mom. And team mom means you volunteer and you bring snacks, or either you set up and have other people bring snacks. But that's how it started. It went from me being a team mom for basketball to volunteering on some other things, to being asked to serve on the South DeKalb YMC board, to becoming chair of the South DeKalb YMC board. And then
wow.
from there, just open up opportunities. It's no longer called Hillendale. It's now Emory at Hillendale, but it was the Cab Medical Center when that hospital was being kind of taken. Well, it was being developed here in Lithonia. I actually volunteered and served on the advisory board to get the hospital here. I mean, we had to fight in court and all of that. Um, I no longer do that, but now I don't know, for some reason I'm circling back. I am vice chair of the DeKalb County Board of Health. Um,
Okay.
that's like a 5 or 6 year term. I think I have about 2 more years to serve on that board. President of the South DeKalb Business Association. You know, you just start, people start to see you, and busy people seem like people are asking busy people, well, can you help us? Most
Mm.
recently, I'm on the board of Unconditional Love for Children. We've kind of taken a hiatus with that for right now. We had to kind of put that on hold because of, we do a lot of stuff in Jamaica, and with air travel and things, we've kind of slowed down. But in the meantime, I did stuff for Head Start. A good friend of mine, Yolanda Upkin, she is now with what's called KDOW, Kids Doc on Wheels. So I'm a new board member with Kids Doc on Wheels, and what that is it's a mobile unit with that we service children. KDOW, KDOW, KDOW. So we just immunizations and health care for children. We have a mobile unit, and we go out into community to serve families and children.
Oh, wow.
I probably missed some. I used to review grants with United Way. It goes on and on and on, but I'm trying to slow down a little bit. I'm
Really?
I'm trying to slow down on the boards, because now that we'll talk about it later, but now that I have the book, it's like, I can only
It's a
slice
lot.
myself up in so many pieces. And I want to do, if I do something, I want to give it my very best.
Absolutely. And you do always anyway. So your soror, you didn't tell us about the sorority. Your soror would like to know, how do you balance all of this?
You know, sometimes it's difficult, but I will tell you, I used to always say, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can do it. You know what you have to do now? Don't immediately say, yes, I'll do it. A couple of things I do now is, can I get back with you? So you don't immediately say yes or no. You're not saying no, but you're not saying yes, but you're giving yourself some time to think, can I really do this? But I have learned to say no a little bit more. I have learned to say no a little bit more. And you know what? I really try hard to work Monday through Friday. And I really try and reserve Saturday and Sunday for family time, or time that I can spend with my husband or my children or my grandkids. I really kind of cherish my weekends.
And you should. I learned that the hard way. You really, really should.
Not always, because we do have sorority meetings, and I do have some other meetings, but typically those boards I serve on, the meetings are during the week.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna circle back to something
Uh-oh.
because the last week's guest like really gave a shout out to her sorority, and I'm gonna need you to do that.
Okay. I would like to give a shout out to Stone Mountain Lithonia Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated.
There you go, Trail. There
Oh,
you go.
and I should have had my red on.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness. Well, this is just great, Delphine. I'm just super excited to talk about your book. So I want you to talk. I'm sure you're going to talk about it. Your fight with breast cancer, your journey with breast cancer, because that's in your book as well. So let's just open it up. Let's just talk about woman to woman, woman to woman.
Woman to woman, woman
Yes,
to woman.
yes, woman to woman.
So I'm really, really proud of the way it turned out, Felicia. And I did this not just for me, but I think many women go through things and we don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so this book is about life lessons learned on the journey to marriage, motherhood, entrepreneurship, divorce, surviving breast cancer, and finding new love. So, you might look at it and say, wow, that's a mouthful. But I'll tell you, each chapter in this book, I talk about my journey in each of these areas. But then at the end, I've learned some lessons along the way. And I'm not done living, but I've learned some lessons along the way that I wanted to impart, to give encouragement, inspiration, because marriage was fun, And there's no way in the world I ever thought that I would go through a divorce. That was hard and traumatic. If you read the book, I've had so many people call me and was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know you were going through that, or that it was that painful." But guess what? Then what happens? What comes knocking at my door? But breast
Mm.
cancer. And I was like, okay. But before that, that last thing said finding new love. So now God placed my husband in my life at the right time. I could not, I mean, every day I like thank God for Frederick Cornelius Pete Taylor. I just thank God that I'm always a giver, but I can say that he treats me like a queen and just is a giver. He just pours into me. And
That, that's great.
but it's a lot. But this book is, I want it to be an inspiration to other women. But not only that, the person who helped me put the book together, Anthony Parnell, was a guy. So it was therapeutic too doing this book, because we had telephone conversations about each chapter, and
Mm.
to talk to a guy, and some of the hurt was from the male, and so to pour my heart to another male, it was very, very therapeutic.
Wow. So he was your counselor too,
All
your
counselor,
therapist.
listener, prayed several times. Yes.
Wow, that is awesome. So after now that you've gone through that therapeutic exercise of writing the book, where are you today? How are you today with those feelings that you had, not just pertaining to your marriage, but everything that you addressed in the book? Did you have like a, was
Girl,
it
it's
a
like a
relief?
cleansing.
It
It
was
is like
a
a
relief.
release. It's like a release, like a cleansing. It really is, because although I will tell you, every time I would read that divorce chapter, my heart would actually hurt. Or I'm like, ooh, I ain't having a heart attack out my, but but it is a release. It is like a cleansing. And it is, I want to have book talks, because I
Mm,
feel like a lot of times we think we're going through things that nobody else has gone through. And it's probably just very few things that somebody else probably has not gone through. And
absolutely.
so I really want to start having what I call these woman to woman talks.
That
And
would be
because of
good.
platforms, we can do this. I want to start having them next year. And because of the Zoom and the other kind of platforms, video conferencing, we can do that,
Absolutely.
and we can start to have discussions. I've already been invited to, maybe talk to a couple of book clubs, a couple of book clubs. So, and I'm
That is,
anticipating, and the book just came out. It really was just released in September. And so it's just I'm fresh. It's
I'm excited. And one of the things that I didn't say anything to you at the time, but I did read the part where you talked about the molestation. And I would love to have you back on at some point to talk about that, because that is something that happens in our community
and
all
we
the
don't
time.
talk.
I experienced it. I have never talked about it ever. But just to have that release when you wrote the book, to just put it out there, that had to be liberating. So
It
I
was,
would
and
love to invite you back to talk about that.
no problem at all. In the fact that, and I didn't dwell on it a lot in the book, but I had to mention it because I still remember to this. I, I remember so clearly, and I didn't mention names. But yes, it did happen. And I mean, I'm thinking that could have traumatized me. And my sister was like, it kind of did, because you still remember it. But yeah, we got to talk about it. We got to
Yeah,
talk about it.
we do. We do. So you guys be sure to go to Delphine's website. It's woman to woman network, and order a copy of this book, because I'm telling you, it's really, really good. And we're going to have her back on, and we're going to have some conversations around this book as well.
That would be
Um,
good.
I am excited, just super excited about it. Um, so, Delphine,
Yes.
now before we go, I got to ask you some fun questions.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Just a
Time is
couple.
time is flying. I'm like,
I know it is. I know. Um, So tell me this. If you had a billboard with anything on it, what would it be and why?
Now it's so daggone funny that you even would say that. And I know you said funny, but I was on a billboard.
I know. That's what I'm
So
talking
I
about.
was on a billboard, and you know what? I'm going to really have to say, I'll have to go back to when I was the spokesperson when they were doing the More Than Pink campaign for Susan G. Komen.
Hmm.
I was like, I was supposed to be the African American face, because so many of us in our community, we don't get a mammogram. We always talk about we're scared, it hurts, or whatever. It's just a momentary pain that can really save your life. And sometimes it's just uncomfortable. I wouldn't even say, oh my God, that hurts. It's uncomfortable. But I would have to say, I have to say, I'm a really a firm believer and talk about breast cancer. Some people have it. I don't want to talk about it no more. I'm healed. I'm done. That's not me. I talk about it. I talk about my breast cancer journey
You
because
do.
because number one, I did get mammograms, but number two, I get mammograms, but that early detection is the key. But I had no lump. It was detected because I went and got a mammogram. I didn't have a bump. I didn't have a lump. I didn't have drainage. The mammogram was the starting point for me, and then they did another mammogram and another mammogram and a biopsy, and
Wow.
and then I found out, that I had triple negative breast cancer after some other tests were run. So I have to say, for that billboard, I just have to plaster my face. Ladies, get your mammogram.
Get, and it's in your email. Every email I get from you is like,
It does.
mammogram.
Get your mammogram or tell someone that you love to get a mammogram, just in case,
Yes,
yes.
absolutely. Latrell said she just had hers.
And many people will comment to me or respond to my email. I got mine scheduled, or I'm going next week. I'm
Hmm.
going next week, or I got mine last week. So,
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so if you could turn back time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell her?
you know what? At first, I probably would tell her back when I was 18, I would, you know, tell myself I need to be, I don't want to say meaner, but I was always the type of person I didn't want to hurt nobody's feelings. And I wanted everybody to like me. So I found myself, you could be hunched over. People could just stab me in my back and I'll just get up. And that's okay. I still like you. I still
Mm,
like you. I think I would want to tell my 18-year-old self not to be meaner, but be a little bit more assertive, or don't let people take advantage of you. You're a big girl. Don't let people take advantage of you, because I feel like sometimes that, that happens. That happens. But and
wow.
yeah,
Like,
that
you're a beast.
that was me. That's right. I want to be more of a beast. I want to be more like my sister. Like my sister. I want, she was, people didn't mess with her. People didn't
Yeah,
mess with her. Mm-mm.
you were the nice one.
Yes, I'm the nice one. Yes.
I
Too nice.
understand.
Too nice sometimes.
I understand. I think the older you get, though, you kind of. I'm finding that I'm changing that because I was like that as well. I'm just like not taking it anymore. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I
And
don't
and
care anymore.
and you know what? Because you have to. I was always, you gotta felt like, I could be quiet, or some conversation was going on and I might not agree with it, wouldn't say anything, but you really have to speak. Be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. And you know what? It's okay if everybody doesn't like me. It's okay if you don't get invited to every party. That's okay. That's okay with me now. I don't have to get invited to all the parties. It's
Exactly.
Yeah, it's okay. You gotta just be yourself, love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, it's hard to love somebody else. So, but
Exactly.
be true to yourself.
Exactly. Well, it's been so much fun hanging out with you. Anything else you want to leave our audience with tonight?
Let's see.
Any final words?
And I just really like to say that I commend you, Felicia, for doing this because then I got to thinking, I was like, man, I always wanted to be like a radio host. Just for the ordinary, remember the Rich and the Famous? They had that show
Mm,
for the Rich and the Famous. I always wanted to do something called Ordinary People and do
mm.
do the same thing like the lifestyles of the ordinary people because I loved it
Wow.
because there's so many interesting people that may not be quote unquote famous or you see on television all the time. So first of all, I want to commend you because I'm loving this Gold Diggers. So
Thank
gold diggers. Gold Digger Diaries, right? Okay.
Yes, Gold Digger Diaries. Gold, and it did not start out this way, trust me, because this just kind of happened. It was not, it was just, I would put it at the end of my quotes sometimes when I would post. And one day I was like, Gold Digger Diaries. That might, and then it just happened.
I think you're
So,
on to, I absolutely think you're on to something with this. I absolutely and I see behind you it's like looks like you have the map of the world.
mhm,
So and I just feel like, yeah, this is global. This is
yes,
global.
yes. And I'm so, you don't know how excited I am, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
You
You
done already?
you want to talk tomorrow?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good.
Like we finished. What else you want to talk about?
No, no, this was good. This was good.
Like I don't want to go. I want to talk some more. But it's just been a pleasure having you on with me. And like I said, I'm going to have you back because I want to delve into some of the parts of your book
Oh,
a
I would
little bit
love to do
more.
that.
I want to talk to, and if you, I'm saying this to you and to everybody who's watching. If you know of someone who is an ordinary person who's doing extraordinary things, please send them my way. They can email me at info@FaliciaRiaye.com or they can DM me on social media because my goal is to really celebrate those people who are, because we are, like Latrell said last week, we are celebrities all the time. So now it's time to celebrate regular, ordinary people.
Absolutely.
Things.
Absolutely.
So, with that said, and without further ado, I'm going to tell you good night, Shawty.
Well, good night. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for joining me, Delphine. I can't wait till next time.
Me either.
And
Have
thank you guys for joining us. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. We have a special guest all the way from the motherland.
oh,
I ain't gonna tell. I have to post about it. I'm not gonna tell you about it yet
wonderful.
because they're doing great things down there. So we want to hear about it. All right, ladies. Thank
Take care.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.